Why do you think you are a good fit for the job? Are there any gaps in your resume or education, and what is your reasoning for that? You cannot afford to just walk into an interview, especially when you applied for the job weeks or months ago, and just hope that you deliver a good performance. The real battle starts here. You've made it. After applying for virtually every job you saw, you got an email that did not say, "We regret to inform you," or "We had a competitive pool." Instead, they said, "We are pleased to invite you to an interview." You made it, but only to stage 2. The real battle starts here. Hello, and welcome to the Speech Factory. At this factory, we take all forms of speakers, the shy, the inexperienced, the loud, and we turn you into excellent communicators. And an excellent communicator is exactly what you need to be in an interview, which is the focus of today's video. But before we go on, if you have not subscribed, kindly do so. A little action, but it goes a long way to support this mission. And leave a like and comment as well if you find this useful. So, interviews. An interview helps the company experience the face and voice behind an application they liked. If you are at a selective interview stage, the company already believes the role could be yours. But first, you need to determine what type of interview this is before you even go in and attempt to do your best. Now, there are several types of interviews. According to format, we have one-on-one, we have panel interviews, we have group interviews. By structure, we have the structured interviews, we have the unstructured communication interviews. According to purpose, we have screening interviews, that is just to get information from you, behavioral to test your cultural fitness, assessment to assess your competence, and offer interviews to interview you as a candidate they are certain they want to give an offer to. Now, each of these is different, and it is important to know each of them. Now, unfortunately, we don't have enough time to go through each of them today. We handle that in our training programs that you should absolutely join. Sign up in the link in the caption. But today, we'll go through how to prepare for an interview. First, you need to understand the purpose of the interview. A screening interview will require basic information about you. It is to affirm your basic eligibility for the role and assess if your application checks out. How do you know if it's a screening call if it is not explicitly said it is so? First, if it is a 15 to 30 minutes interview, most likely it is screening. But if it is more than 30 minutes, it is more likely that it is a behavioral or assessment interview. Now, that is how you determine if it's a screening or assessment interview. Now, for any type of interview, the first thing you need to do is to get your basic information ready. You need to go back to your resume or CV and cover letter and make sure that you are familiar with everything you put there and said there. Additionally, you must know all of these things. Number 1, who are you? This is where you have your elevator pitch ready. We are going to deal with elevator pitches later, but for now, you need to be able to introduce yourself. Number 2, why are you applying for the role? And no, the right answer is not because I don't have a job, I need the money. We need concrete answers on why there is a fitness, on why it is aligned with your professional interests, on why the vision of the company is one that you are aligned with. Next, why do you think you are a good fit for the job? Next, Are there any gaps in your resume or education, and what is your reasoning for that? Next, what your career plans are. And finally, salary expectation. This is rare, but sometimes some companies ask, so you should have your expectation ready. Now, after you have all the information ready, you must practice your delivery. Practice how you are going to answer these questions. You cannot afford to just walk into an interview, especially when you applied for the job weeks or months ago, and just hope that you deliver a good performance. You need to practice several variations of the questions and keep going until your answers sound natural, not when they are memorized. Now, when you are done preparing, you want to get in early. If it's a virtual interview, start getting ready, checking your device, and be ready in the waiting room 10 minutes before it starts. If it's an in-person interview, aim to arrive at the location 30 minutes in advance of the interview. In both scenarios, your dressing also matters. How you dress to an interview shows how you perceive the job. Now, I know that there is this movement that the world's richest men don't even wear suits. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, they just wear t-shirts and jeans. But you know what? You just make your first billion first, okay? Before you start dressing like them. If you're a common floor member looking for a job, please just wear the suit, wear the professional attire. When you make your $1 billion, you can wear a t-shirt and jeans to an interview. Now, this is backed by research. Research by Career Builder shows that only 7% of hiring managers said dressing doesn't matter, which means that even the billionaires you are looking up to, they'll wear t-shirts and jeans to an interview and expect that you are wearing a suit. Now, another survey of almost 3,000 hiring managers by Robert Half found that 91% of them said that formal, decent dressing played a positive role in helping them evaluate their ideal candidate. So you prepare well ahead of time with your dressing as well. And when you practice this way, knowing your information, practicing, getting in early, dressing well, by doing this, you prepare to communicate your best. And when you walk into that room, you'll be ready to deliver a lasting impression. People think communication is all about what you do in the moment. But communication starts way before the actual interaction. How you practice, what you practice on, and how you dress prepare you to communicate your best. And they also communicate a lot to the person you are talking to when you actually start the conversation. Now, as for the actual interview and how to ace it, we'll do that next week, don't worry. But until then, you know what to do. Like, comment, and share this to someone you would like to see at the top.